Hi everyone, my name is Mark Brown, and I'm here to discuss the higher education in America. Today, we're going to examine some of the problems in our education system, as well as present some options that could help revolutionize the higher education in America. Along the way, we're going to interview a few college students and ask some important questions about their college experience. Let's start out with why it is profitable to get a college degree. On the financial side of things, having a degree can definitely help, while those supporting a bachelor degree currently earn an average of $51,000 a year. On the other hand, those who have a high school diploma earn an average of around $28,000. So having a degree will definitely be a solace to you when it comes time to get that job you've always wanted. Now that said, let's take a look at some of the real problems in our college system.
I honestly think it's probably just laziness or lack of just not having anything to strive for, lack of goals. Because if you had a goal, then it'd be easier to, want to get done fast or something. But if you're lazy, I've been there, and you just don't get stuff done.
Students end up flunking out because they're not used to the discipline of studying and balancing life, doing social life and that, because what we made high schools and middle schools to be is social life.
Most everyone's just concerned about passing the class. They're just trying to avoid the F.
Right.
And that really isn't what we're looking for. I mean, the goal should be striving for academic excellence and doing the best you can, but a lot of students put in very little effort and just, they get a C, they're happy.
Especially when you have younger students who come straight into college from high school, if they don't know what direction they want to move in, it's really difficult to nail down why they have to stay up and study for this test, or why they have to put in the extra time and not go out and hang out with friends.
Wow. After interviewing those students and doing a good bit of research, I realized just how much of the success of each individual student depends on his or her own desire to reach to a high standard of excellence. So, if the real cause of decline is the lack of motivation and the want of a big party life, how can we fix that? One thing for sure, we won't be able to completely extinguish the longing to have a big social life. I love socializing with people, but there is a point where hanging out with friends can become a hindrance to the success of each student. Another thing that goes hand in hand with partying is drinking and drugs. 25% of students report academic consequences of their drinking, including missing class, falling behind, doing poorly on exams or papers, and just having a bad grade overall. More than 696,000 students are assaulted each year by fellow students who have been drinking, and 1,700 students are killed by alcohol-related accidents, including motor vehicle crashes. Colleges need to crack down on drinking and drugs, have undercover patrols at the door, take random drug and alcohol tests. If students are failing these tests, or are caught with drugs and alcohol, expel them. I came to a point in this essay where I had to sit down and ask myself, if the majority of students are motivated, and they aren't worried if they have a C average, how are you going to change that viewpoint? I mean, you can't stand in front of a classroom of C average college students, tell them they need to spend less time with their friends, boost their motivation, and get on the president's list. These students aren't going to change at the snap of your fingers. They began this way of thinking over a long period of time, and I don't think you'll be surprised at what I'm going to say next. This change must start in the elementary, junior high, and high schools. Students get into college and they have no idea what track they should be going down, so they end up jumping on the train going to nowhere. I believe more career information classes should be offered in high schools. If a student was able to decipher what area of work he or she wanted to go into, and the increase of annual earnings if you have a college degree, they would be more motivated to achieve that goal when they got to college. So what can be done to help improve the college system right now? Well, if your college has campus outreach, consider getting involved. If it doesn't, maybe you should be the one to help start it. If you have friends who aren't doing as well academically, offer to help them out. Just get together once a week, go over some things that they're struggling with, and encourage them to put forth some more effort. Students need to responsibly handle their time and stay on top of what they have to do. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself in college, but do not let your grades go down because you want to spend more time partying and hanging out with friends.
No, not at all.
Definitely.
Definitely not, no.
I think core classes are always an important part of your education, your higher education, because whether you think they relate to your degree or not, the core classes have something to do with the foundation of what you're going to be learning upon.
No, they are, and it's really kind of frustrating to me, being a student in my third semester, that a lot of times I'm finding that some of these classes I have to take aren't important. And I'm like, why did they make us do all these different classes when it doesn't apply? For example, if I'm an English major, then why do I need to take, biology or chemistry? Those scientific areas of study and classes have absolutely no relation to English, no practical application. So I think the whole idea of the core classes and everything needs to be reevaluated.
Well, obviously some controversy over the mandatory core classes. But if you put yourself in the shoes of a student who aces every one of his mandatory core classes and still has to sit there twiddling his thumbs while the teacher goes over things he was taught in high school, you might understand why some students want those classes thrown out the window. But for the students who didn't master their high school classes, mandatory core classes are definitely necessary. But back to the students who did. Colleges should test each student in a manner that determines just how firm their foundation is. If the student can pass that test, those core classes shouldn't be necessary. Though our higher education system does have problems, some of these can be addressed by reevaluating the necessity of core classes for all students, enforcing stricter codes of conduct, and offering career information and assessment classes for high school students. Take the time to explore the opportunities where you can help serve in your college. I challenge you to be an example of a student who can succeed. Be respectful of your teachers. You'll find they'll be much more willing to help you succeed in their class. But above all, reach for a higher standard of excellence in your higher education experience, and don't give up. God bless.